in the
Oh,
ranks.
there he is.
All right, you're live.
Thank you. We'll just wait for Mr. Pohl to start us off.
Uh-oh.
Either way, if someone comes, you can bring them right here and sit here. No problem.
Katie, there's a pet tax.
There's a what?
A pet tax. I don't know what it is, but if you have a pet, there's like a tax you got to put on it.
Oh! Say hi, Malibu. Oh, makes me miss mine.
That works.
So cute. Aww. Right here.
Why can't I hear anything? Ray, that is a good question. Can you talk so that we can try to hear you?
Oh, he's gone.
Uh-oh.
He's going to log back in.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll wait for Ray another minute or so.
This is a wonderful program, this Zoom.
It's actually better than other platforms. I will put it out there.
Is it really?
It's much better than Microsoft Teams. It's such
Don't we know?
EIA.
Yes. There's Ray. I'll let him in right now.
There, I got Ray right there.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Because he's muted.
And he unmutes himself.
He's
Hey.
unmuted now.
Hey, do you have any idea why Ray wouldn't be able to hear us?
Up.
Oh, there
Wait.
he is.
I got it.
There he
Okay.
is.
Hi, guys. Sorry. Has the meeting started?
Yes,
No, we've been waiting for you.
for you.
Oh, so did you run down the stuff yet or? No.
No,
Fresh
we've
Okay.
been
Well, then I better
Waiting.
hop to it. Okay. Let me write down. So Diane, you're here.
Yes,
Val, you're here.
Hi.
Abby, well, we haven't gotten to that part just yet. I just need to write this down. Stephen, you're here.
Till 2, Mr. Chair.
What's that?
Till 2. I'll try and stay later.
Yeah,
but
no, I gotta
call.
totally leave it too. I'm so sorry. So any other members? Diane, Val, Abby, Stephen, and myself?
sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, and then we have Holly
Present.
and Kadeem. Is he on?
Yep, here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
okay. Okay, now I'm going to start into my narrative. Okay, here we go. As a preliminary matter, this is Ray Pohl, Chairman of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your names, please respond in the affirmative. Diane Coombs.
Aye.
Thank you. Val Oliver.
Hi.
Thank you. Abby Camp.
Aye.
Stephen Welch.
Aye.
And this is the chair, Ray Pohl, for the record. Staff, when I call your names, please respond in the affirmative. Holly Bacchus.
Present.
Very good. Kadeem McCarthy.
Hi, here.
Great, thank you. Okay, good afternoon. This is an open meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. It's being conducted remotely consistent with the Speaker's Executive Order of March 12, 2020 due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Nantucket Historic District Commission is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that the meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless noted otherwise. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, we will go down the line. I will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation other than with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. Finally, each vote will be taken at this meeting by roll call vote. Okay, so the first item on our agenda would be to approve today's agenda.
I so move.
Thank you very much, Diane. Val,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane.
Aye.
Chairs in favor, motion carries. Okay, that brings us along to our first item. Public comment, is there anything in the email that we should know about before we move on? Holly?
No, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you. We have a consent with conditions, 1. It doesn't appear to me that anyone needs to recuse. Can I have a motion?
Motion,
You do it.
motion to approve consent with conditions.
Thanks, Val. Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Val.
Aye.
Chairs in favor, motion carries. Okay, so consent with conditions is done. Okay, now we're on to new business. First item of which is 13 and 16 Warren Street. Do we have somebody here to represent this project?
That would be me, Katie Mitchell.
Oh, hi, Katie. Okay, Katie, if you wait just a second, Holly's going to get all your information up on the screen.
Okay.
First one is the rotating the shed in the pergola. Sorry, trying to get to the.
Was that anything that we should be? I just saw a site plan that had some red bubble on it.
Yeah. The sheds for this unit. Let me get to the site plan that has the shed on it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So is it my understanding that this shed is being rotated 90 degrees, Katie?
Yes.
Yes. So it was previously
We just
approved with
turned
a
it.
pergola. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
So now interestingly,
No, I'm sorry, the pergola was not approved originally. That was an addition. So that's new. That's on my plans on the next
okay.
one.
Okay. So we don't see the pergola on this site plan. Which building does it face? Does it face west?
Yeah. It's between and the house, and the existing house.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
HSAB did take a look at it and they had no concerns for either application.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Katie, if you have nothing further to say, maybe we should just hear what the board has to say about this. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay.
Sounds
All
good.
right. It's a little blurry.
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, so anybody ready to begin on this one?
Ray, can I see the locust map? I'm not sure where about Warren Street. I know New Street, but I don't know Warren.
So Holly, maybe you can backtrack to the locust plan. There we are. Can we zoom in on that? Okay, zoom a little more. New Street, Pleasant.
Warren goes up to Pleasant from Orange.
Yeah,
Oh, it's between Pleasant and
and
Orange.
Orange.
Orange, it's a little short street.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Ray.
great. Would anyone like to render an opinion on this?
I will, if you want.
That was you, right, Diane?
Yes,
Oh, well then go, feel free, go right ahead.
I think the shed turning that way, it's behind the existing shell driveway. And I believe there is a hedge at the end of the shell driveway before the shed begins. And the pagoda is facing the house from what I understand and see.
That's correct.
I don't think it's on keeping in the area, which has funny little houses here and there along the line.
Did you say it is or is not in keeping?
It is in keeping.
Is in keeping. Okay, thank you. Is that it?
Yep.
Right. Okay, thank you. Val?
I'm fine with this application.
Okay. Abby?
Fine.
Fine. Stephen?
Yes, good.
All right, well, it sounds like we have liftoff. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve as submitted.
Very good. Thank you, Diane. So Abby,
All right.
Val,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane, you're in favor of your motion?
Right, aye.
All right, and the chair's in favor, motion carries. That's item number one. Let's see, now the second one is a fence gate. It shows up on the same plan, I guess, Katie, maybe? No?
Now, Ethan did a plan just for the elevations for the shed, and then, yeah, and then I did this plan. So it's just adding just like that fence along the street, and adding a driveway apron, and then a gate. I believe that was and one small section of 5 and 1.
And is it called out explicitly on this plan? Let's see. Oh, I see. Yeah, end of type 2 fence. Got it. Goes around, start of type 2. And where was the 5 and 1? Oh, existing 5 and 1 on the right-hand side.
Right.
Oh,
if
and
you
then
look,
in the back, I see.
yeah, just a little section, just because it's so tight right there that we wanted to push it back and give them an actual space to walk through.
Okay, but there's just a little 12-foot length in the back of the property. So
Yeah.
fence, and you have an arbor there, I see. Do we have a design for that arbor?
It's existing.
Oh, it is.
It's just moved. Yeah, it's
Right
just,
here.
well, I
Oh.
think it might have to be fixed. I think it's kind of falling down. So I don't know if he's just going to fix it.
Yeah, It's definitely falling
rebuild
down.
it, but it won't be exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
It will be
Oh.
exactly the same though.
All right, that
Just
sounds
with
great.
adding,
So
we're adding a gate.
adding a gate. Yes, I saw that on the plan. So Holly, I'm pretty sure that you said when HSAB reviewed this, they were okay with both of these applications, right? Including.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, great. Board members.
Motion to approve.
I like it. Okay, Abby's made a motion to approve. Unless there's any objections, I'd like to run through and take a roll call vote on this. Diane,
Aye.
thank you. Val,
Aye.
okay, thank you. Stephen,
Aye.
Abby, you're in favor of your motion.
Aye.
Great, and chair's in favor, motion carries. Okay, Katie, you're all set.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
Katie.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks. Okay, next up, 24 Trotters. And do we have Luke or Carrie on the line to represent this one?
We do not currently.
Don't.
I'll
Okay.
text them.
Yeah.
Let's skip to the next one.
Well, let's see. Is somebody here for Atlantic, the next one?
No one here for Atlantic either.
Okay. How about Emeritus?
Matt McEachern is here.
Okay.
I
Well,
saw him.
yeah. So I think that if we don't have Luke or anyone for Atlantic, we should hold those three for rep.
That's my motion.
Okay, Abby's made a motion to hold items 3 through 5 for representation.
Here's Luke, Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so now skip that motion.
You wanted me to interrupt you?
Yeah.
So we're back to 24 Trotters Lane, right?
Yeah, we're back to 24 Trotters and Luke is here to represent. We'll wait till we get the information on the screen. Could you?
And Lindsay's in as well.
Oh,
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can.
You can. Hey, Carrie.
Took a second to click in.
Okay, so what we have here, excuse me, the first thing that we're talking about is an as-built driveway.
Yep, the curb cut.
Say that again, Carrie?
The curb cut. My client went to the DPW.
Yeah,
They told her she had 3 choices for curb cut:
okay,
cobble, pavement, or concrete. And she just went with concrete because it was the least expensive.
right,
And I was unaware that this was happening. So
got it. Okay, so do we have any pictures of this?
there should be photos. Yes.
Carrie, this looks like the TV when I was growing up.
What?
Oh, I'm just saying the picture, it's a little grainy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, the photos are copies, sorry. There should be another one. It's right there on the left. I guess maybe the next, wait, no, I should have, I think
There-
this.
It's
oh,
a
no,
different
this is the wrong
application.
one.
that's a different application.
This
Okay.
is the window color change.
So,
There are 2 applications. One is for the curb cut and one
Yeah.
is for the white trim.
but we are looking at this apron in this grainy photo, right?
Yeah, there are better photos on the next app. On the,
Oh, okay.
actual.
So Holly, could we go to that? Because I was going to ask about what the materials are. It looks like it's just a dirt drive.
It's a dirt drive. I think she intends to get some gravel in there, but she's doing it by, what she can afford.
Right.
So the
Got it.
application for the driveway, I've included some photographs of the different curb cuts on Trotters. There's sort of a little bit of everything there. Yeah, there should be more photos. So there's the concrete
And
and the
it's
rest of the
hard to tell
photo.
from that picture, but is that asphalt? The
The
dri-
road is
road?
that. The road is asphalt, yes.
Road is asphalt,
So
okay.
these are some examples of the different ones that are on the street. This is cobble or Belgian block. This is concrete. Oh, sorry, no, that one says asphalt. Yes. And this is just stone, no apron. It's sort of a mishmash on trotters. But as far as I could see, this was the only concrete.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
What is Sousa's Fish Market, the entrance to their place?
I don't know that they have
I'm
an.
not sure. I
apron.
didn't go up that far.
Okay,
I don't think they have one.
Yeah, there's a lot that don't have them.
yeah, I couldn't remember.
It's a bummer because it's just so bright and so new, but I'm hoping when it gets driven over a couple thousand times, it will
Right.
mitigate it somewhat. And I am bummed that the DPW didn't mention having to go to HDC.
I said the same thing to her and she said they didn't say a thing about it. And that was weird. But
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah,
so
The only
this-
thing I can think of, Mr. Chair, is possibly because it's not in the old historic district, but usually there is a communication between
Yeah.
us and them.
Why can't it be asphalt like the road?
Well, it could have been, but it's
Could have been.
it's already concrete. So you can't-
Sorry,
You
yeah.
can't really put the asphalt on top of the concrete.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was an as-built.
Yeah.
I wonder if I don't know, but I wonder if there's some sort of gray stain she could stain it to make it.
Well, there
I was
are
thinking
there
that.
are things.
Yeah.
I think
Go
it's
ahead.
gonna age out. The landscape
thing
is
is
gonna go
brand
around
new.
it. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be nearly as stark as it is now. Not to say that I personally think it's wonderful or anything, but if they knew to come to us and they wanted to do concrete, we could have talked about maybe doing the cobble press. I've seen that a couple of times. It actually doesn't look bad.
Mhm.
But I think to Val's point, it's going to take a little while, but it's going to be a little less severe.
maybe.
Not great.
Yeah, I agree.
What's the width of it? It looks very large.
It's not very wide. I didn't measure it. But the property itself, it's in the far corner, as you can see.
Yeah,
But it shouldn't be any more than 15, 16 feet.
You know, if it's that bright and it sort of is going to age out, when they go to do the stone actually, the gravel actually, it comes in colors. And if they did something on the light side, it might sort of go with, instead of being, like,
Yeah, harsh contrast.
yeah. You could choose a stone that had some of that sort of bright in it.
Yeah. Well,
I'll talk to her and find out what she intends for that gravel and let her know that it should
Be applied
have
for.
a similar tone.
has there- oh,
I wonder if I talk to the builder and see if there is a grayish kind of stain, they could stain it to try to, or if that would look weirder. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I think we're trying to manipulate it too much. It kind of is what it is. And I think it will age out. I think it's the sort of the next material you put next to it it could complement it.
right. Yeah.
More
Well,
of a beigey stone than a gray stone.
can we do something?
I'll
with
make
this?
a motion.
To approve as submitted, is that what you're suggesting?
I'm saying approve is submitted, but with the caveat that any other hardscaping that goes on that property needs to come in.
Okay, I like
And
that.
not
motion.
do it as an as-built.
All
Do you
right.
want to put in there the beige stone thing so she gets it
No, she can.
Well, if she has to come back,
first for gravel?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure she knows that.
All right. So Val, on the motion, Abby,
Aye.
thank you. Diane,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
thank you. Val,
Aye.
chairs in favor, motion carries. Second thing is as-built door and window changes.
The most important, I think, is the white trim and sash.
And how does, that was not approved?
No, it was originally going to be sand tone and like cobble or some gray.
Hmm.
And again, this is a modular house, and
Yeah.
I don't know when she decided to change it, but obviously before construction. And I never got the notification, so it happened, and now we're here.
Okay, so in addition to the white trim, it looks like the door may be different and something to do with the bay. Probably
No,
not.
sorry, that was original. That was the original staff approval, is to get that bay off the ground.
Well, is the
The-
door different? too?
Yes, sorry, the door is now a window. If you see, the first elevation was the door, and this is now showing just a window instead of that door
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
So she
What do you
changed
think,
it.
folks?
Can I see the door? The exit, what is there?
Well, it's actually a window now.
There was a 15 light glass door, and now it's a window.
So they had 2 doors on the front of the house?
No,
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 it's
no,
on the
this is on the
side.
other side. If you scroll down, you can see the elevation. So right now you'll see the door, and then scroll a little further and you'll see there's a window there now.
Yeah. So the side door changed into a window, Val.
Yes.
Is there an
It's
as-built?
only showing the
beyond
front
this?
of the house. That's
Hang
why
on.
it's confusing.
Sorry, what?
The picture is only showing the front of the house. That's why it's confusing.
What?
Oh, yeah, I only took a photograph of that because I was just going white trim, and then she told me, oh no, we changed the door to a window. So I didn't get a photo of it. But it's that northwest elevation on the drawings. You can see the window bubbled.
Okay, so this
Really
is no
good.
big deal, but this woman clearly keeps changing things. I almost think she should have some kind of a fine.
Well, she
Yeah, there is a
can't
fine.
change anything anymore because it's modular. So what's done is done, and it happened during construction. If you want to fine her, that's your choice for sure.
But this color white from Sandtone didn't come over that way. She has no regard for, come on, she's lived here longer than 3 weeks. She knows.
She's a school teacher, and she should have known.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise,
Look,
you-
okay, so
If it's any
the white
consolation,
trim
I-
goes with it.
I actually drive by this house pretty regularly as a cut through. The white, it stands out now because it's brand new, but I'm not suggesting it was a good thing. I'm just looking at the amount of time we have and suggesting that
Yeah.
she's already paying the fine, and it's gonna look like any other White House, and more and less so with the landscaping in, much of what you won't see except for the second floor when you drive by.
I agree, and it goes with the concrete.
But now I don't think the fine has been levied yet, right?
No, it has not.
Okay, so why don't we append that? I mean, just a suggestion, because it sounds like that would be the,
I think that whatever the amount would be for the changing of the paint and the front door.
does
That's
somebody want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, so your motion is to approve, but to levy the fine for an as-built?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's Abby's motion. Diane?
Yep. Yes.
And I will find out the fine from Kathy. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
$500. It's 10 times.
Nice, we're in the middle of a vote. Diane?
Aye.
Okay, yeah, that's right, you said that. Val?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Thank you. Abby?
Aye.
All right, chairs in favor, motion carries. Yeah, so you'll just need to talk to Kathy or somebody about the amount of the fine.
Maybe they can do
Okey-dokey.
community service at the HTC filing.
That's right. Yes. Okay,
Money.
Thanks.
funny.
Next up on the agenda is 34 Washing Pond Road.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Deem, I don't see this in the folder. I'm looking.
Let's see, 34 tubes.
Any chance you could email that to me, Kadeem? Because I don't have it in this folder.
Kadeem? Is he muted?
No, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, we can't hear Kadeem.
Oh.
I can hear him in the other room, but I can't.
Well, I think that means he's muted, right? But anyway, is that going to take some
I
time?
unmuted, yeah. If you can give me like just so the next application, I can get it.
You mean you want us to move forward with the next application?
If you wouldn't mind, in
think
an
we
instance
will.
of time.
Now, yeah, so can we hold 34 Washing Pond for,
So move.
thank you. That was you, Diane, wasn't it?
Yep.
Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Stephen,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
you're in favor. Let's move on to first emeritus, which is 289 Hummuck Pond Road.
And 34 is now with Holly. I just emailed it, so it's ready after.
Well, yeah, that's, yeah, Murphy's Law. That works.
Yep, no problem. Cool.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
Matt's on.
Community Services,
Yep, I'm here, Mr. Chair.
okay. So what's going on here?
which permit number?
Move off, right?
Yes. And
So
I
you
can start whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Just go.
Okay, thanks. So there's two properties here. I think the site plan might be more helpful to start with.
Okay, so back up, Holly.
The address.
Didn't we see the site plan right there? Yeah. Okay.
So
Property owner's name.
what we've got here is there's an existing structure here that we're planning to move due to erosion.
And
Wait a
the
sec.
number for the inspector.
Hold on. Somebody is speaking to somebody else and they need to mute whoever that is. Not you, Matt. Okay, continue.
I heard it too. Thank you. So just bigger picture, you've actually got two properties, 289 and 287. And there's kind of some moving around here of structures. And so just to give you the kind of general gist of it, there is an existing structure that is at 289, which is in jeopardy of falling into the ocean. Structure that we renovated
Oh, yeah.
8 years ago, and it's like right at the edge there, and it kind of you got the pond in the ocean there. So that has had significant erosion, and so it really needs to be moved. It's not quite emergency status, but pretty close.
Okay, so I'm just curious, where are you moving it to, bud?
So the subsequent applications that we're going to be looking at, our plan is to take the structure and to move it to this footprint, and we are proposing in addition
To which footprint?
I just drew.
Yeah, okay, do that
So-
again for me.
So bigger picture here, our plan is to take this existing structure, move or demo it off the property, so that goes away. And then in its place, we would move the house from 289, which is here, and slide it in this footprint, and then do an addition to it. So the applications are kind of, there's a lot of them, but that's the general bigger picture idea that we're
Well,
looking at.
the first thing that we're reviewing is the move off of this because it's in jeopardy of falling into the cut over the little cut through there. So what does it look like?
There should be photographs that were submitted, and we also have drawings.
This building is not very old.
No.
How
No.
old is it?
Actually, we renovated it extensively in, I think, 2011.
Okay, stop right there. Does anybody have any issues, board members, do you have any issues with just basically taking this building, which is going to fall in the water if we don't move it, by the way, and moving it to the neighboring property, which is, I believe, also owned by the same guy. And then Matt will show us, he's going to be putting some additions onto this building. Does anyone have any issues with moving this off?
I have a
No.
question. I have a question.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Matt, is there any grade change, or is it going to address, be basically finished floor set, within 18 inches of the existing grade?
I would say that it's within 18 inches of the existing grade. We don't have any grading plans. As of right now, the plan is to not make any grade changes. We are in the process of, we actually have been to Concom once and submitted a plan. So we're pretty limited in terms of what we can do in terms of grade changes, but they're essentially the plan is as of right now to not make any significant grade changes. So certainly if there were any, we would be back in with a grading plan. But to answer your question, no significant grade changes. We've navigated most of it just by decks.
Okay, thank you.
Abby, were you about to say something?
I said that I was in favor of moving it. You said, does anybody have an issue with it? I do not have an issue with moving it.
Okay. Does anyone have an issue with this? Because if not, I'd like a motion, because then we can continue. Actually, we should probably go back and hear Atlantic, but we can continue with this idea of moving on plus the addition.
Okay, so moved.
I make a motion to approve.
Abby beat you to the punch there. So Diane, are you in favor of Abby's motion?
Yep.
That was a yes?
Yep,
Okay, Val?
yes.
Aye.
Thank you. Stephen?
Aye.
Abby?
Aye.
Chair's in favor, motion carries. Thank you. All right, now do we want to go back and take care of this 34 Washing Pond Road pool?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see that. Matt, we'll be right back to you, okay?
Yep, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Matt.
Lindsay, hit it.
So I think you guys have already seen this house. Sophie took the house through already. All the retaining walls, on the right side of the property, that was all previously approved, because that's how you access underneath the houses. The house sits way back on the lot, to get from from Washing Pond Road to even the first part of the circle is over 220 feet. That circle sits about 6 feet higher than the rest of, than Washing Pond Road. So I think your visibility is going to be extremely limited. Plus we're going to have like a little belly, like switchback in the driveway to obstruct views of the house, from the road. And then the whole program in the back is not going to be visible either. The house blocks it, obviously, but then also it kind of sits down in the landscape, and you can see from the contour lines that the dunes are actually a lot higher. So I think there's like a 30 elevation up in the dunes. So a lot of, so I don't think it's visible from a public way. We've kind of tried to keep it tucked into the landscape.
Appears to be on a bluff too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
the bummer about
it was originally going to be closer to the ocean, but then we moved it back to get it out of the 100-foot buffer line. So the whole thing had shifted back, which I think you guys saw in a previous application from Sophie. So it sits pretty far back off the bluff. Yeah, so you certainly wouldn't see it from the water, and then you're definitely not going to see it from the road. So I think it wouldn't be visible.
Okay. Thanks, Lindsay.
Okay.
Board members.
I'm good with it.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, it's a pool. Due to the lack of visibility.
Okay. Diane?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Abby?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Can you remind me of the address? I didn't hear the address.
It's Washing Pond Road,
34.
34.
Oh, is it on the left or the right?
It's
Going
on
down
the
toward-
ocean side. which would be the right as you pull into Washing Pond Road.
Okay, you go down and it's on the right, sort of at the last house on the right there?
Yeah, that little slip that you see to the west of that is the access to so-called Black Tower Beach.
Okay.
If you've ever been down there.
And you're saying this, well, can we do the visibility thing?
Yeah,
Just to
yeah,
be
that was what Stephen was
safety?
proposing. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. Did I ask you already, Val?
No,
Oh, what do you think?
I don't know what to think. I didn't see the application in any or link to it, so I didn't look at it before. If he says it can't be seen, we'll hold him to that.
Well, we can add that language to the.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Val, I went on Google Earth and we scoped it out too, just so you know.
Okay.
It's nestled in the dunes and there's also
Yeah.
a bluff between this and the sound. So, yeah. Okay. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve is submitted.
Did you want to append your,
Pool shall not be visible at time of inspection or thereafter.
thanks. That's good. Okay. Diane.
Aye.
Thank you. Abby.
Aye.
All right. Val.
Aye.
Stephen.
Aye.
Okay. Chairs in favor. Motion carries. Okay.
Thank
Now
you.
let's get back to, thank you. Let's get back to emeritus. So we just did the move off and it looks like we're going to look at now at the neighboring property, which is 287. We're going to be looking at the moved house with the addition appended to it, I think.
Yep.
Hey, Matt.
Yep, I'm here.
I see
did-
the next item after this is a move demo of a dwelling. Now, is that in the way of what you're putting there now?
Yes, yep, that's so,
We should have looked at that first.
Well, that's what I'm suggesting. So, well, we should look at that before we look at this new house plus addition. I think I know the house. This is Angela Rayner's mom's house.
correct.
Former.
So, the original structure, so the, basically, the owner of 289, because,
Wait, hang on. Are we looking at the take off, move off demo of the existing?
Yeah.
I believe that's this one. Yes, sir.
We are, okay, thank you. Continue,
So-
sorry, Matt.
the owner of 289 purchased 287. I mean, the whole area, if everyone's familiar, is pretty much, the time is limited for all these structures.
Correct.
The idea here is because the 289 property was done recently, the owner purchased the 287, again, at a fairly reduced rate, given the immediate, the erosion. And the intent here is to move the house over, like I said, and do an addition to it. But it does, the only place you can really put the structure is in place of the existing structure at 287. And so our plan is to move or demolish it. We actually have advertised for it. And we've actually had a couple people come and look at it. One person has passed, but the person that's looking at it right now seems fairly interested in it. So if we can move it, we have talked to Toscana, and they feel that it's something that they could move pretty easily. That photograph is actually pretty helpful. So the original structure, portions of the original structure here on the left are from 1950, according to the property card. There is no historic survey on the structure. We looked at the aerials from 38. There's nothing there. And then the aerials from 1971, which is the next one. And there looks like there's a structure there. It doesn't look like it's in the exact same place, to be honest with you. But according to the property card, that left section is from the 1950s. I think if somebody did take it, they would probably take maybe just the section on the left, although the section on the right, which was added, I think, around 2002. So they had a pretty extensive renovation that was done in 2002, where they did an addition to the structure. So given the limited area where you can put the new structure, this is really the spot. We've had initial review by Conservation Commission, and it looks like they're generally on board with it. We're kind of talking about some smaller details. So that's the gist. And like I said, we do have somebody who seems pretty interested in taking it. They haven't made an official. They haven't made it official yet, and so that's why we're applying for the move/demo.
Okay,
Mr.
Thank you.
Chair,
yes.
just for the record, the NHL document indicates that it's 1950. For the record.
Which
That's right,
squares
sir.
with, I believe what Matt just said, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Holly. Board members.
I don't think that those Quaker grade downspouts were approved with natural to weather trim, but other than that, I have no concerns.
Let's levy an as-built fine on this one before
take
it
it.
moves off. Anything else, folks?
No,
Abby?
I live in fear of a trophy house coming.
Well, you're about to see the trophy house, which is literally the house next door to this is moving in to replace it with an addition.
Yeah.
motion to approve
Uh,
as a move off demo.
As a move off demo, exactly. Okay, thank you, Val. Diane,
Aye.
thank you. Abby,
Aye.
thank you. Stephen,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
chairs in favor, motion carries. Okay, so now we can go back and review this moved on structure with the addition that you're placing on it, Matthew.
Thank you. I can begin whenever you're ready.
Okay, so there's our building.
So there's an element of this that we had initially submitted and we've since elected to remove, and it was something that you probably weren't going to be in favor of. So and it's on the north elevation, but I think if we could scroll down and look at the south elevation. Oh, there's the site plan. That would actually be helpful. So the red, sorry, this, I don't know what to call it. Let's call it blue, green. That section there represents the moved structure, if you will, which is here.
Right.
And then the red is the new addition, if you will. The remaining portions are a deck and it's actually a fiberglass shallow plunge pool. We just called it a pool, so we weren't minting words. Concom is, that's a little bit of a stretch, but that's not part of this application, but we wanted to throw everything out there. Just for bigger picture, and we will be coming in with a separate structure. There is an existing garage here that we're proposing to rotate and pick up and rotate and do some work to. But basically, this is the house location. The portion on the right is new and the portion on the left is existing. So with that, we may want to scroll down to the south elevation because I think that's probably the most telling. Keep going. Yep. So with the addition, we took the existing structure. It is natural trim. It is Terratone windows. So it's natural trim, kind of a darker brown sash color. So we're proposing to keep that same color scheme and rake and trim details and match window styles. I think if you scroll down to the south elevation, that's the one that's the quote unquote front. We hatched the new addition and did not hatch the existing structure. We are proposing to add a small covered porch here. No second floor deck, however, just a one-story deck to protect you from the sun. It gets a little warm out there. And so the addition is on the right, essentially. In the previous iteration, we just had a front door here. It was a fairly nondescript front door. In this iteration, we are proposing to add a small covered entry. And basically the overall, partie of the design is to create an addition that emulates the same architectural style, doesn't exceed the height of the original, but with this kind of reduced dropped break in the center, connector, if you will, and that's where the front door would be. Obviously, we have 2/2s. There's a lot of ganged units, and so we wanted to be consistent with that in terms of the new addition. We're also adding a masonry chimney interior fireplace on the first floor. If we could scroll up, staying on the same sheet.
Hey, Matt, before we scroll up, how the building is 25 feet to the ridge? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yes, so it's not a tall structure to begin with.
Okay.
If we could scroll to the image above, I referred to this in my opening statement or comments. This was an idea that the owner had asked that we explore, where we did these essentially kind of glass panels on the back side of the structure.
I'm going to cut to the chase on this one. This building is completely 100% visible from all the trails over at Sanford Farm. And like to have a glass skylight there is going to shine when the sun's in the right direction. Is
What
going to
about at night?
Well,
at night. Exactly.
if I, Mr. Chair, I'm suggesting we are not, we are looking to remove that. We are not.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was trying to say at the beginning. It's something that we knew was a stretch. It was something that they thought would be kind of an interesting idea from an interior perspective. I did
Well, it's an interesting
caution them.
idea, but yeah, I mean, this is just going to be way too visible from.
And I agree. And I'd say at the time of the submission, there was, we were still going back and forth. And since the time of the submission and until now, we've agreed, got to the point where we are not requesting that.
It would just be shingle, right, Matt?
Yeah, it would be a shingled roof. We'd actually have a dormer. The same dormer that's on the front side would be on the back
Oh,
here.
I see. Yeah, I got you.
And I
Okay.
think we just have a single window here. So I apologize for the confusion. It was one of those design elements that everyone got enamored with, and I tried to caution everybody about it. I think we got to the right point here, so I apologize for the confusion. But we are not requesting that.
Okay. Good enough.
The remaining elevations are fairly straightforward. I mean, from Hummuck Pond, from the road, I would say that this elevation is probably the most visible, and it's fairly benign. So I think with that, that's my presentation, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, board members.
Uh,
Okay, dream team.
I'm trying to look at it on my computer. Hold on. The first thing that occurs to me is that there's so many windows all ganged together. I know the existing house has that, but the way this is knit together with that little indent, it's rather curious to me. I personally think the indent should go away and have the roof plane, I don't know, the same as what you're adding, and maybe lower that whole thing somewhat so that it does look like a house that was added onto. Right now, it looks like two houses that are knit together with a little connector.
Which,
And,
yeah, that was
Right.
the idea. But
and I think the sides are good. I think that the rear, even with that weirdo glass greenhouse fill-in, even reads better. And I'm not sure why. Maybe the front entry is exacerbating I don't know, the connection or
I
something.
think you hit it, Val. Having the entry sort of like in between those two pieces seems like it's getting squeezed or something.
And I think it might read better if it was a shed. It would be more in keeping with like an old style.
Yeah.
Out on the beach. Simple. But
Um,
try to ungang some windows.
what was that, Val?
Try to ungang some windows.
Yeah.
Okay, Val, was that it?
Yep.
Okay, Diane, I know you're interested in speaking, so you.
Right. I think that the south elevation or front door, which is hard to read, I guess it's the north, is
The front door is on the south.
all right. The windows are chaotic there. You got the the gang windows as 2 and 2, and then up above you got everything is sort of separated at different widths. It needs some window reduction. There's too many windows, and there's no breaking down. You could bring something down so that you have some sort of added massing, I think, instead of just a big square, whether it drops 2 feet or not. I appreciate the chimney because I think that gives that some sort of break and stuff, but it doesn't overpower me with the looks that it is a typical house on the water system. And I'd like to see the fenestration changed. And the front door, the panels, from what I can see in this drawing, the panels which are glass go all the way down. And we try not to do that. They should come up to the height of where the windows are.
Okay. I get
Thank
it.
you, Diane.
Yes? Yep.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, Stephen.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Yeah, so I agree with what's been said, Matt. I think what I would suggest is on your north elevation, the concerns I have, just to be clear, are the differences in there's a perceptible difference in the fenestration, I think, primarily in the dormers with respect to the spacing. That connector piece, I think enough's been said about that. On the south elevation, I agree that if a shed roof were utilized, it might help to tone down the focal point, which is almost like that gable is pointing to the dormer, which is on this little connector. I think the thing that makes that accentuation not productive is the different proportions of the left to right mass of what's been relocated and what's proposed. As opposed to maybe changing that, you may want to, I think if I were looking at this and I were looking at the alternative, which would be a shed roof without a dormer above, that may look more appropriate. I'll leave it to you to figure out how you do your massing and whatnot, but I did want to comment on that.
Sure.
Other than that, I have no comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. How about you, Abby?
I'm feeling the same as my colleagues here about sameness and same fenestration to make it more cohesive. I think with the center, the connector piece should either be bigger if you have the space and maybe as large as the little gable front door you have there. You know, it looks so pinched to me. It's like, I would like to see them either see that connector a couple of feet larger with I don't know what the style is, like let's pretend it's shingle style with maybe a detail above the front door that might make it a focal point. Otherwise, if it's not that, I would take out the connector completely and just do like a Cotswold house with the dormer, you know, just take out that whole centerpiece and make it smaller and have the front dormer go right across the way you see those houses up on the Cliff Road, you know, the ones I mean.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I get it. I mean, the massing approach we took was pretty literal here, but I think I'm kind of understanding where I think the board wants us to go here, so.
Okay. Yeah, Matt, I have nothing additional. I do share the concerns of the rest of the board members, but I don't think I need to add anything. So could we have a motion on this one, folks?
Motion to hold for some revisions.
Thank you, Val. Stephen,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
chairs in favor, motion carries. Now, Stephen, I want to be mindful of your time. It's 2:00. I knew you had to take off. This reciting garage, do you want to stay on that one or do you want to say goodbye?
I was going to see if I could stick around till maybe 2:15. I haven't gotten the text yet, so I'm still good.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. Yeah, I'm good until 2:15 too.
Mr. Chair, if you prefer, I could hold this and track it with the main house in case there's any changes that reflect.
Well, that would be great, Matt, because we do have a number of other applications
Yeah.
and we don't have a huge amount of time, so it'd be good to try.
Happy to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to basically hold to track item number 9, the reciting of the garage for Matt. Can we take a motion on that one?
So moved.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Abby? How about you, Diane?
Aye.
Thank you, Val.
Aye.
Abby? Still muted. Stephen?
Aye.
Chairs in favor. Abby, you unmuted yet? Doesn't matter. The motion carries. Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt.
Sorry, aye.
There we go. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move over to 23 Starbuck with another Thornwell creation. So who do we have on deck for this one? As representative, it looks like Luke, maybe. Luke, are you, oh, you're muted. You got to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, now we can.
Okay,
Okay.
Right.
Okay, hit us. Go.
okay. Well, this is an existing home, and our proposal, shoot, I don't know. Our proposal basically is proposing 1-story additions that wrap around it.
Okay.
The main mass is existing. We've some door and window changes on the main mass. But essentially she's trying to create a covered porch area and then expand
Okay.
in a simple manner from a 1-story standpoint. And in the rear, create an enclosed porch. There's an existing deck out there. We're not changing upper deck. We're not changing the size of that. We're just enclosing what's below it as a screen porch.
Okay. So we see the first 2 elevations. Can we scroll down and see the second 2? Okay. All right. So infilling underneath the existing deck and additions onto the right and left-hand side. Yep. All right. Okay. Luke, I think it's pretty straightforward. Let's see what the board members have to say.
I'll go, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Val. Go ahead.
I think a lot of this is an improvement on this house. I like that he's adding 1-story elements to sort of ground it and get rid of this,
Yep.
whatever this deck treatment is that's on the existing house.
Nasty.
One question, where did the front door go?
Went around the corner. It's
Yeah,
not,
there it is.
and my client, I told my client that you may have some concerns with that. She's tucked pretty deeply in behind some vegetation. But again, we're trying to just do a simple 1-story element, and to put the front door on the front doesn't give her any sort of coverage as she enters the building.
Okay, that was simply my question. I couldn't figure out where it went. I'm okay with this.
Okay, thank you. Abby?
Can I see the one that has that long stretch of deck on it? And can you tell me that you can't see it from anywhere?
Well, the deck actually exists.
Yeah.
Okay,
See, he's only infilling underneath the deck.
I
The deck,
see.
as you can see from those photographs, is pretty nasty.
Yeah. Okay, all right, I like it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Stephen?
Nice job, Luke.
Okay, that sounds good. How about you, Diane?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're fine?
Yes,
Okay, well, I think we can have a motion on this.
Motion to approve is submitted.
Thank you, Val. Diane?
aye.
Thank you, Abby.
Aye.
Thank you, Stephen.
Aye.
Val?
Aye.
Chairs in favor, motion carries. There you go, Luke.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay, next up, 81 Cliff Road, BPC.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Joe,
Hi.
what you got going on?
Continuing the theme of single-story additions. This is, that's probably a good place to stop. This is a house that we probably all see whenever we leave town going down Cliff Road.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's the
Yeah.
cape that sits up on the hill. And if you go to the next page, there's a before and after comparison of what we're looking to do.
Okay.
We're removing the garage that's attached to the house,
Mhm.
and that those double doors face the side road.
Mhm.
And we're adding a shed dormer to the front. We're keeping the front windows, the front door. We're adding a porch, and then we're doing two opposing gabled single-story masses onto the building. And you can see that the street side of the building, which is the what is that, the east elevation, so we'll no longer be looking at the garage doors. And then the rear of the house, which faces inward to the lot, there will be a subsequent application for a pool, and we have a shed that's going to screen the pool. But the site plan shows kind of the total build out of the property, which is on the previous page. So there'll be a shed that will eventually screen a pool, and there'll be a garage, a detached garage up on that northeast corner of the lot. No changes to the grade on the front. We're not lifting up the existing house. We're not touching how that existing building relates to the ground. And the large trees that you see on that property actually sit outside the property line. So the general feel of that property as viewed from the street, we're hoping will be an improvement. And that's it.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Well, could we scroll down to the elevations?
Mm-hmm.
Geez, the pool is bigger than the house.
It's not a big house, actually.
So, oh, sorry, that is east. East is front of the house?
South.
That's the one that you see at the corner. This faces diagonally into the corner of Sherburne Turnpike and Cliff Road.
That's right. Yeah, the south elevation that's up on the screen is the front.
Mm-hmm.
Those A windows we're replacing existing windows to match existing. The front door is staying. Those trim details are existing. And we're adding a small shed dormer on the front, centered over that front door. And the porch is meant to center that too, just to draw attention to the front doorway.
So can I go first? I just have a thought.
Yes.
So my feeling is that we were just talking about the application before this, where there was also some shed dormers. And to me, I think you could do even more here with more windows up in that shed dormer. Fill it out, make it bigger, so it doesn't look so little, sort of like a top hat on a, so yeah, I'd like to see that expand. I think it will sit a lot better, and it will look like those houses I was talking about at the beginning of Cliff, which isn't too far away from this.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
I'll go.
Oh, was that you, Val?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I agree with Abby about maybe the dormer being a little bigger, but more than that, I think the proportions on those small windows is off. It's more horizontal than vertical.
Mhm.
So I would like to see those windows change size.
Okay,
And I appreciate the other changes, I think. If the back can be seen anywhere, it seems like a lot for that area, a lot of glass, but
I don't think you're gonna see the back of this.
yeah.
No.
And one other question, is there a grade change?
No.
no,
You said that the grade will remain the same.
Okay.
Can I go next?
Yes, of course you can, Diane.
Okay, I agree with the making another window up there in the little dormer. I'd like to see them. I think it was Val who said to have them bigger.
yep.
Or
They-
narrower?
Yeah, that shed dormer could certainly climb up a little bit higher on the roof, and we could raise that eave line, which would give us a more vertical proportion window. And I was wrestling with the amount of fenestration relative to what's actually needed up there, but I don't disagree with all your comments. Not that it matters, I would of course do it anyway, but I'm in agreement. I think it would help if there's a little more glass in that dormer.
Right. And
Yeah.
over to the right, where you have the 3 windows and the little window up above on the gable front.
Yeah.
I would like to see those windows bigger too.
Mhm. Agree.
Okay.
I think they would look better, fill out that place a little bit better. I like the windows that you have on both sides of the front door. They look great and with the house. And that's why I'd like to see those other 3 bigger or whatever. So that's all.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Stephen, anything to add?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Yes, so am I. I think that what's been said is spot on. So if we could make some revisions along that lines, I would be appreciative of that. So can I have a motion?
Motion to hold for revision.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Diane. Abby? Val?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Abby?
Aye.
There we go. And chairs in favor of motion carries. So that's that. Now, listen, guys, I got to jump.
Thank you.
Sorry, but that means Diane, you're going to be the chair, and I think Stephen's going to be jumping sometime real soon too. But thanks, thanks
So,
everyone.
As soon as we get it done,
nice
I would say
weekend.
no more than 2 weeks.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mr.
Roy.
Chair.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Perfect.
Diane,
Thank
just a heads up, I'm gonna, I probably got another 10, I might have another 15, but I'm definitely gonna have to be off by 2:30-ish.
Okay, tell me just one thing before Ray goes, or has he already gone?
He's gone.
Building.
I didn't know whether Lisa was going to be with us at the end. That's all. So the next one is the 10 Surfside Road, town of Nantucket, with parking lot change.
Hey, Diane.
Hi.
Oh, Diane O'Neill.
Oh,
Hey to you too, of course.
Can you guys hear me?
yep.
Great. My name is John McMeeking. I'm a landscape architect with SMRT Architects and Engineers, and I'm joined by Diane O'Neill, who you all know, the Director of Facilities at the Nantucket Public Schools. This is a fairly straightforward project. The Public Schools is proposing to modify the parking lot on the north side of the high school. That's that small 35-space parking lot adjacent to the pool. The reasons for this modification are twofold. One is to improve traffic circulation on Surfside Road and also to alleviate some of the congestion at that Four Corners intersection. And the second reason is to decrease the potential for pedestrian and vehicular conflict. So you can see there on the locust plan, that's where the parking lot we're proposing to do some slight modifications. Modifications include closing the access to Surfside Road and adding access to Sparks Avenue. This has been vetted and approved by town engineering and planning. So you can see on the hardscape plan here, the existing entry and access point to this parking lot is of Surfside Road right there. Thank you, Holly. And entering and access this lot is a challenge, and then it backs up. The traffic backs up on Surfside Road and subsequently backs up on all the other roadways. So again, we propose to eliminate access from Surfside and add access onto Sparks Avenue. All the materials will remain exactly the same as they currently are: asphalt pavement, granite curbing, and concrete walkways. We feel that this is a much safer way to address this parking lot. We think it's going to improve circulation issues, and it's going to improve safety for students, staff, and all who utilize that parking lot. Diane is available if you guys have any questions regarding sort of the history of this parking lot and some of the circulation suggestions that have been made over the years. But we feel like we've come to a pretty good spot here, and I'd like to open it up to any questions or comments you might have. And thank you very much for your time.
I would like just to think, as I don't, the elm tree. That isn't going to be moved or dug around or anything else, right?
That is staying there.
Okay.
Beautiful
Because-
tree.
Yes, it is our prize and everything. All righty. Who would like to begin?
I have a question.
Yep.
It's interesting that you think putting the driveway over here will alleviate traffic. I think it's going to be just as much of an issue. I mean, that road, Sparks Avenue, backs up just as much as Surfside Road. And and with the way William Street spills into this, it's a very interesting idea, but I don't know. And I don't hold a whole lot of faith in our transportation department. So could it come off of the already cut that you have that goes in back of the school as opposed to right there?
You mean continue the driveway past the school and onto that existing curb cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did look at that. The grades get a little bit dicey over there, and there is a lot of vegetation that we didn't want to disturb, Val. So that was the reason we did that. There's some thought about making the exit from this parking lot a right turn only, which would eliminate people taking a left turn onto Sparks Ave and up into that Four Corners intersection. That was one idea. I'm not sure if that was fully approved by town engineering. That was a thought initially. So I know there's been a lot of different iterations of what to do with this parking lot. So, but I hear you.
Quickly? Can I just kind of give you a little bit of background? This all came about as a part of the 24 Surfside property exchange with the Kaiser family. The town wants to take that corner and I guess eventually make a turn lane there. So they really want us to get this entrance and exit off of Surfside. And because of where the turn lane is going to go, and because the driveway currently is just exactly across Vesper Lane. So we were asked by the town to do this. So Val, that's the reason that we're here today. I just wanted to give a little bit of background.
Yeah, I mean, the parking lot, I guess, is fine. I think we're trading one problem for another, but that's just me.
Right.
Okay. Is that, Stephen, you want to come in quick?
Yeah, a quick question. John, the concrete pavement that's showing on sheets, actually, I don't see a label. The proposed parking and exit, clearly the bottom area along Surfside Road is new. Along the high school, that's not the auditorium. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a music room or something inside. But anyways, all of this is new and it's meant to be just sidewalk. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then I don't disagree with Val's comments. I mean, really, with respect to, is it creating a problem? But I think for me at this point, there's only one way in, and it's on a highly trafficked road and we're kind of flip-flopping it. So I don't know that, I mean, it's not our area, but the visual is. I don't know that we're necessarily making anything worse. For me, the idea that there is a bigger picture solution and, you know, not getting into what that is, but taking on faith that it's going to help. I know that's not necessarily Bale's opinion, but that is helpful for me. So thank you.
Could we have another drawing of the site plan where this is going to go? Not that you're not very good looking, John, but I'd like to see the site plan.
Can you see it on your screen, Diane?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I had the site plan up on the screen, this one.
Oh, I don't have it. All right, never mind. So I just,
Madam Chair, can I put in a few words just briefly? Abby here.
Yep.
Okay, I guess I'm on. Okay, so I agree with Stephen and Val that it's trading, you know, it's just, I don't think we're accomplishing anything here. I'd really like to see that corner a park and look for parking elsewhere on the site. I think if they're really worried about,
I think you're right, that Abby. I think you're absolutely right.
I think it would be a great place. There's not a lot of parks around, and it's getting so congested. It would fix up. I ride my bike across there. The sidewalks are terrible. It would be nice to fix up that whole corner and not have, and you know, re-look at your site for parking.
I think I'm going to suggest the thing, because when your pavement goes out and your driveway empties out, you're emptying out right into Williams Street. And people are going to want to go out of town and they're going to try and turn left. It's going to be a disaster. I don't know. I'd like you to see if maybe you could go around the pool and go down, join up with the back of the school. You can't go into the graveyard.
No.
And you can't disturb the windmill. But I think where you've got it, if it wasn't so crowded, probably would be a good idea. But if there was a way you could scoot along the edge on school property and pick up with that back road, I think that we would do better. And as Abby said, make that front thing a park that people that are bicycling, they can meet their kids and go walk down to the Boys and Girls Club. I think it would be useful and it would be safer in the long run.
So can I just say a couple of things along, just to explain? We looked at those options. We are completely out of parking at the high school. We are just completely out. Teachers, we just don't have any more. So to pick up 5 or 6 parking spaces was a gift. And we looked at running this down to the opening, but to be quite honest, during drop off and pickup, that intersection is a nightmare. So to add to that, where parents are dropping kids off and the pool parking lot and then trying to get out where cars are trying to get in. And I see Holly shaking her head yes, because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I think it would create more of an issue. I just wanted to make those points before to explain that we did discuss these things and this is sort of where we are, so.
I don't know. It's very hard. I don't know. I guess everybody has spoken. Does anybody have a good idea that they'd like to mention other than what we have? Or do you want to go back for?
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
So I guess if we could bring up the Google map view, this aerial satellite, and maybe zoom in on the Sparks Ave area where it actually is labeled Sparks Ave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Diane O'Neill, I just wanted to, I understand you guys have probably looked at this stuff 6 ways to Sunday because, you want to maximize what you're doing and you've got an engineer firm to do it. If you were, I presume you looked at pulling this maybe the exit out down past the sidewalk, which is perpendicular to Sparks Ave in the area of the image where the K is in Sparks Ave. But that probably creates problems for you with kids and drop-offs because you're crossing then 2 sidewalks, or no? Is that not a concern?
I'm not sure
I
what
mean,
you mean, Steve.
if you were to extend your exit past where the K is, you cross over another sidewalk internally, so you're creating a crosswalk situation where you don't, I mean, I'm just trying to be practical, where you don't have crosswalk guards. You'd have to have another person on staff to man that crosswalk when it's kids coming in and out of school, if you extended that.
That's correct, Stephen.
Okay, so I'm trying to look at the practical aspect. For me, it goes back to then you're looking at almost a temporary situation to until the turnoff from Surfside to Sparks goes in, the turnoff lane.
Essentially, yes, that's the goal.
I mean, it's not temporary in that it's going to change the parking lot, but it's going to change the parking or the traffic pattern somewhat because there's going to be relief provided by the turnoff lane.
That is correct.
So with your having, clarified you've worked on that and whatnot, I'm not thrilled but I'm not thrilled about traffic. It's not that I'm not thrilled about, I'm fine with it.
Understood.
John, do you want to speak to, we looked at the area in front of the music room and that's additionally, we were going to put parking there, but we really want some green space in front of the school. We looked at going out that way as well, but that would just create another bottleneck. So we have looked at this 6 ways to Sunday, and I appreciate that you said that.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at, tying into the current bus drop off. We looked at what everyone has mentioned about extending this roadway up to the back of the school. Again, I mean, talking about changing the visual aspect of things, we'll be taking down a lot of trees to get back up to behind the school. The grades aren't ideal, and as Stephen mentioned, we'd be crossing some existing pedestrian walkways. So those are really the big driving factors. And Diane and I agree with what you guys have said. I mean, it's a tough spot right here. We've got people coming from all parts of town convening on this one intersection without any traffic control. So
and trying to keep kids safe. I mean, that really is paramount for us.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question to John?
Certainly can.
This has been vetted through the NPDC, correct?
that's correct, and Diane can verify that.
Andrew was at our meeting, Libby was at our meeting, Dawn was at our meeting, Ken Bogran, and they all approved this plan.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Well, I guess, you know, at the end of the day, all we can speak about is what it's going to look like, which I guess is essentially the way it looks now. I guess we should just pass it on through. And
can I get a
I would motion to approve it as submitted under duress and disbelief it's going to actually work.
But we actually can't approve something under duress.
Sure we can. What do you
I mean, we can feel that, but we can't actually do it that way as a motion.
All right, motion to approve is submitted.
All righty.
Only for the visual.
Right. Stephen.
Aye.
Abby.
Nay.
Nay. And Val.
Aye.
And I will go with it because it doesn't seem to be any other answer to the.
Thank you.
I would like, if possible, John or Diane, perhaps when it's submitted or you sign it off at the HDC, could you say what vegetation is coming down?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. It's just two small, they're actually just small crabapple trees that one is diseased and the other one is, and it's not doing so great, but I will definitely, we will definitely document that for you.
All right, because the Boys and Girls Club is not until further down.
That's correct.
So, I was trying to put it to where it drops down and goes into the graveyard. So we seem to have missed that. So that's it. You have a 3-to-1 approval.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you, commission members. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. So, the next one. Let me know if that.
Steve, are you sticking around?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually texting on that right now. I might be
Okay.
able to get another 10 minutes out of it, but I'm
Awesome. Holly, we're actually 42 Dukes Road. We're going to be holding that until Monday. Our applicant is not able to make it.
Okay, the next one is Val.
Thank you.
So we better do them quick while Steve is still here, because otherwise we won't have enough.
Well, can I just make one, ask one,
okay.
Dale Wayne is on with us right now. Can I swap him to the top of my
You
list?
look your usual wonderful self. I know you anywhere.
So you
that's-
want,
Val, is that number 25?
can I?
No, number
question,
16.
Yoo-hoo. God. So what one do you want to switch with, Val?
I just would like to put number 16 at the top of my list. So Mr. Wayne, who's here and zoomed in, can be heard.
Okay, that's good. So do you want to do that right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so that is, I don't have the numbers right. What's
11
his address?
Bishop's Rise.
Okay,
Yes.
And Madam Chair, this will be my last for
okay,
today.
all right. Thank you.
Can you guys unmute Dale?
Depends on what he's going to say. Just
Oh, he's
joking.
still muted. At any rate, this is an existing house up on Bishop's Rise. I do have some photos, aerial photos of Bishop's Rise and all the pools that surround us up there. So there is lots of precedent. And the area where the pool is going is where you see the hedge. And the hedge will still be there.
It's going to be behind the hedge?
Behind the hedge, except at the back of the property where it slopes down.
Okay.
Am I saying that right, Dale?
The hedge will be continued, so the pool is not being seen from the street.
Okay, do we have a site plan?
Yeah.
There.
That was the first page, I think, was the site plan. Yeah. Drawn by, I think,
There.
I don't know who.
There it is.
Richard Craddock. Through the site plan.
No, it's good. I just wanted to see if there was any other road close by that would leave you for an open visual thing, but I don't see any.
If you blow this up a little bit, you can see on the locus map. Oop. Where Bishop's Rise, it's
Yeah.
not a locus map, but yeah, you can see that and Eel Point. You can't see mine. I'm pointing with my thing.
Well, you can't see Swift Rock Road is too far away, and Greenleaf is just too much vegetation. So I would not think that it can be seen when it's behind the hedge. So who would like to begin?
I have a question, please, Madam Chair.
Yep.
So Val, through the chair, I just want to clarify, the grade on Bishop's Rise is a little higher than the house, and then the back side of the house where the pool is on that side drops off.
Dale, how
Yeah.
much does it,
Well, that area is known as Trot's Hills for people who've been around a long time. And it's just nothing but hills. Now, the road, Bishop's Rise in that area is probably below where the pool is by at least 10 feet. So, I mean,
I think
it is hilly.
if you can see his driveway, his garage door, which is under the house,
Yeah.
that's even down farther than the road.
Yeah, that
Right,
goes, that goes
what I
down
would-
probably 3 feet from the
Right,
road.
so I'm looking at the Google map, and it seems to indicate that the road is higher than where the driveway meets the house. But that the back side of the house, where I presume towards where the pool will be, the rear right corner as you're facing from Bishop's Rise, there's a plateau there with a rounded patio, but then that drops off. That's the hill continues down. So Bishop's Rise is the top, is close, is uphill of the house, correct?
Bishop's Rise is lower than the house in all respects. In that area, there is a hill as you come up Bishop's Rise. There's a steep hill, then it crests, then you start down the hill, and you meet my driveways, and I have 2 of them. One goes up, one goes down, and then the hill goes back up again a little bit. There is a crest of the hill that is higher than my house, but it is, you can hardly see my house because of hedges that my neighbor has and maintains to at least 10 feet high. Or not, maybe not 10, but a good 8 to 9 feet high. So you don't even see my house till you start down the hill.
Okay. I'm not, yeah, this is where I'm looking at. And so I'm looking at the street. I don't want to belabor this, but this goes to the vegetation. I don't have a concern about the pool so much as the vegetation. Holly, if you put us at Bishop's Rise at the front of the driveway entry, the apron area. Yeah,
There.
so when you come in the driveway, there's clearly a shadow line where the driveway drops down and it's being retained. So Bishop's Rise is higher than this area of the driveway.
It's higher than the garage, which is under the house.
Right. So it's at the roadway, it's at best flush, and then then the house at the garage area is lower. What is the grade situation at the rear where the that I was going to say half round, but it's not quite a half round. What is the grade there?
It
versus
does
the
drop
road?
off. The natural vegetation there is probably 5 or 6 feet.
And
But
what,
it
Dale,
does
what's
drop
the
off.
grade? Dale, what's the grade right at the lawn area beyond that half round?
It drops off.
Well, okay, I'm asking relative to Bishop's Rise.
Oh, it's still above Bishop's Rise, or equal to where my driveway comes in.
Okay, so just a couple of privets along this is going to be sufficient, do you think, Val, for visible screening?
yeah, if you
Or-
go back to the site plan and you can see where it says new wood gate and arbor, that's just to replace the one that's there, which you see in the picture. And there's the first length of hedge. That's going to continue. How far, Dale? How far is that?
Well, if you see, the hedge goes around. The hedge basically completes a almost half round equal to the patio. In fact, it goes right to the back of the house. What I'm gonna do is cut that hedge and swing the hedge over to the north and the south to completely hide the pool.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's helpful. I'm looking at the locus. I guess my concern is on the backside that pool, the infinity edge is going to be quite a bit taller than the neighbor's property. And I'm getting flashbacks of a recent situation on another property where we weren't aware of the grade and it started. I'm not saying it can't be remedied, but I personally would like to be aware of what the grade change is from the back of the pool, the infinity pool, to the neighboring yard there.
Do you want to,
There,
Stephen, do you want to have a view with markers at the pool height?
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be the simplest thing. I just, without the topography on the plan, Mr. Wayne, usually we'll have topography and then we can ascertain these things without having to ask a bunch of questions. So it's no fault of yours, but it's just difficult for me to say, oh yeah, that's great, until I have an idea of exactly what's going to be happening.
Why don't we do a view with the markers and the infinity edge painted in different colors so we know which way it's going to go? How about that?
And will that be viewable from, yeah, that'll be, I don't know what the road is parallel to Bishop's Rise against the,
you won't be able to see it from Greenleaf because basically that's a hole. And when you go towards Greenleaf, everything goes uphill. In other words, when I'm standing in front of that hedge, I don't see Greenleaf Road. I can't see it.
All right, so
Well-
we've got a motion for a view, Madam Chair. Let's get on with it.
so what,
Okay.
would that be with just a height pole to show the top of the pool and a height pole to show the top of the infinity edge at the northmost corners?
Yes.
Yeah, the
There'd
north
just
and
be-
west corners, I could definitely put that on, I could drive a stake and put a flag on it so you can see what you can see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then I think we can quickly dispense with this.
Okay, so let's have a
Or I
motion.
mean, you guys can go ahead. I just would be uncomfortable, that's all.
Let me have a motion for view with the pool
Stake.
and the infinity edge marked with a flag.
That'd be great. That's the motion.
Okay. Abby,
Aye.
Val,
I'm helping the applicant.
all right. So Steve is in favor of his motion and I am in favor also. So that should help. That's 1, 2, 3. 3 of us have approved a view with the flag and the marking of the pool, okay?
My only question is, when do these viewings happen?
I'll check at the office tomorrow, Dale, and Kadeen will tell you when it needs to be up by. Usually, we like, if we could see it in the near future, we like to have it up by Friday, but this is Thursday, so
I can definitely have it up tomorrow.
good man.
I'll drive by. Thank you, Mr. Wayne.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I gotta run.
Thank you,
Good
Steve.
weekend.
See you Tuesday. Thank you, Dale, very much
All
for
right, well,
coming.
thank you, everyone. I'll get it
Just try to
ready.
make it good for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So
Bye-bye.
now,
Madam Chair, this is my last one as well.
okay, this is,
We have to skip my 2 other ones because we don't have a quorum.
all right. So we have, 12
Madam
Lincoln
Chair,
Ave.
I would recommend that 42 Dukes Road would be the last application if this is going to be Abby's last, because then there won't be a quorum.
Right.
And we're
What
not
about-
doing 42 Dukes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
What
That one's
about
held.
12 Lincoln? Did we do that the other night? 12
No, Madam
Lincoln?
Chair.
What?
If Matt is, looks like Matt's still on, so yep, we could do 12 Lincoln Ave. There's
All
two
right,
of
let's
them.
do 12 Lincoln Ave, and then Abby can go.
Thank you.
Well, then we all
And
could go.
And Val and I will run it for the rest of the day. Okay,
I mean,
here we
there's
go.
I'm
two at 12
here.
Lincoln.
I'm just handing
I know.
something.
Where'd you go?
She's coming back.
Okay.
I love Abby.
I'm in the room. I just am handing somebody something.
No, I was speaking to Abby for just a minute, a personal speak. I love that material that's behind you.
Oh, it's the headboard. I'm staying at my daughter's house and, thank you.
It's
I
one of
don't
my
know. Oh,
favorite ones.
Madam
Oh.
Chair, if I may just mention that both of these applications for 12 Lincoln Ave for the cabana revision and the garage revision were both reviewed by HSAB. They had no concerns on the cabana. They had no concerns on the light change of the garage, but there was a comment that they wanted me to read about the garage.
All right, read it now.
Okay, no concerns on the revision, but the west elevation, they were skeptical of the track barn door. They didn't understand why that was there and it should have had regular windows to match. On a side note, I was not privy to that original approval or review, and I don't know what the intention of it was, so I couldn't give them any more to that. But I did remind the HSAB that was not under their review at the moment, that the revision was strictly the garage door. So thank you.
Okay, all right, so is Matt here? Yes. So, Matt, can we begin?
Yeah, sure. I think it's all fairly minor changes if you scroll down. And by the way, that garage door, sliding barn door was approved, and it's primarily because of its location, its proximity to the backyard and access to the garage for storage of materials. So I thought that these were fairly minor changes. You can scroll down. Keep going. I'm just trying to, I think it was just primarily the doors on the cabana. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. And so we had, I think we had previously had some glass in those doors, and we just wanted to remove them. So.
Okay, Abby? Abby? Are you there? Val, are you there?
Yep, I was just looking at the garage, sorry. Can you just go, yeah. So are we adding the doors on the east?
These are the previous doors.
We just got rid of the glass. I think we had 4 lights and we're proposing to omit them and just go with the straight, just make them all consistent. It's kind of a utilitarian type structure. One of them actually has a half bath in it, and we just didn't think that it was smart to have the glass. As part of the previous approval, when we moved it from one side of the yard to the other, we had, I think the board actually requested we put in these 4 light windows because we did have porthole windows, I don't know if you recall. And as part of the approval, you requested to put in 4 lights, but we just felt the 4 lights were kind of excessive and unnecessary, so we just omitted them. That's what this is for.
I think it looks fine. Less is more. It's good.
All right, Abby?
She's back in now. I think she got kicked out for a second.
She's muted.
Come on, Abby. There you go.
My phone died. I'm so sorry.
That's right. So did you see that east elevation of the garage doors?
The cabana.
It's the cabana. He's just taken the glass out and made them all the same way.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and may I have a motion to
Motion to approve as submitted.
Thank you. Abby?
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
me, I. Great. So the next one is, what's the next one, Matt?
It's the garage. I think if you zoom in, I think we're just changing the configuration of the lights.
And I actually think that's much better. They were
Yeah.
horizontal before.
Yeah, they're kind of square.
Yeah. I would motion to approve this as submitted.
All right. Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and me, I. Me, I, me. So that's another approval. Thank you very much.
All right.
Matt, for thing, and we have to go because Abby's gone and we've lost our group. So we are down to Val's. On Tuesday, they go from, what is the number on the new agenda?
I have 14 and 15.
All right.
Um,
14.
So I would, well, I don't know how we do that.
We just have to agree to hold for Tuesday.
That's my motion, Madam Chair.
All right.
Correction, it's next
Monday.
Monday, August 10th.
No.
She got coupons, she's gonna buy.
Okay, so Monday.
At
Yep.
4:30. So Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Can I vote on that?
yeah,
Moving my applications?
right. We're just holding the whole thing. Do you want to take your applications out?
Yes, no, I'd like to move them to Monday. Thank you.
All right. So all the remaining agenda items will be held until Monday at 4:30. Abby has said yes. Val,
Yes, aye.
and I say aye also. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
We need
Thank
to
you.
adjourn.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Diane, aye. We're adjourned.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you all. Thank you all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time too, and patience, and working with Zoom.
See you all. Or Eileen, Rick,